Hey everyone, welcome back to Philosophy of Finance. Today we're rediving deep into the mind of one of history's greatest thinkers to see what he can teach us about something very modern, our finances. We're talking about Socrates. Now, you might be thinking, what does a guy who lived over 2,000 years ago in ancient Athens know about my student loans or my stock portfolio? And that's a fair question. Socrates never had a credit card. He didn't trade crypto, and he definitely didn't worry about a 401k. But what he did have was profound wisdom about human nature, desire, and the pursuit of a good life. And it turns out those things are at the very heart of how we handle our money. So, who was this guy, Socrates? He was a classical Greek philosopher, often called the father of Western philosophy. But he wasn't your typical ivory tower academic. He didn't write books. Instead, he spent his days in the marketplace of Athens, talking to everyone's statesmen, merchants, artisans, and asking them really uncomfortable questions. He was famous for his method of questioning, the Socratic method. It's designed to expose contradictions in people, his beliefs, and guide them toward a more solid understanding of concepts like justice, beauty, and virtue. He claimed that he knew nothing, which made him the wisest of all, because he was at least aware of his own ignorance. He was ultimately sentenced to death for corrupting the youth and impiety, but his legacy, passed down by his student Plato, has shaped our world. One of Socrates' most radical ideas was his take on wealth versus virtue. In ancient Athens, just like today, many people believed that wealth was the ultimate good. More money meant more power, more pleasure, more happiness. But Socrates completely flipped this idea on its head. He argued, I do nothing but go about persuading you all, old and young alike, not to take thought for your persons or your properties, but first and chiefly to care about the greatest improvement of the soul. For him, virtue, things like wisdom, courage, and justice, was the only true good. Wealth, he said, was just an external thing. It wasn't inherently good or bad, but its value depended entirely on how you used it. A wise and virtuous person could use wealth to do good, but for a foolish or corrupt person, money would only amplify their flaws and lead to their ruin. Think about it. Does having $1 million automatically make you a good person? Socrates would say, absolutely not. In fact, he'd ask if your pursuit of that $1 million made you neglect your character, your relationships, and your own soul. This leads us directly to his ideas on desire and self-control. Socrates believed that our desires, if left unchecked, are like a wild horse pulling us in 1,000 different directions. He famously said, the secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. This is so countercultural to our modern consumerist society, which constantly tells us we need the latest phone, the newest car, the trendiest clothes to be happy. We're bombarded with ads designed to create desires we didn't even know we had. Socrates would look at this and see a form of slavery. When you're constantly chasing the next thing, you're not free. Your desires are your master. He advocated for self-control, or what the Greeks called sophronzi. It's about mastering your own appetites, not being mastered by them. Financially, this is a superpower. Someone with Socratic self-control doesn't fall for impulse buys. They can distinguish between a need and a want. They can delay gratification to save for a long-term goal, not because it's a painful sacrifice, but because they find true freedom in not being a slave to every passing whim. Socrates also warned about how the pursuit of money can lead to a kind of moral blindness. He believed that an excessive focus on wealth could corrupt our judgment and make us confuse what is profitable with what is right. When the bottom line is the only thing that matters, it's easy to justify cutting corners, exploiting others, or ignoring ethical considerations. He would ask a business owner, is this decision just? Is it good for the community, or is it merely profitable? He saw that the relentless pursuit of money could make us value things over people and profit over principles. We see this play out all the time, from corporate scandals to individuals who ruin their relationships over financial disputes. Socrates' message is a timeless reminder to keep our financial goals aligned with our moral compass. He'd argue that true wealth isn't just a number in a bank account, but a life lived with integrity. So let's put Socrates head-to-head with modern finance. Imagine Socrates walking onto a Wall Street trading floor. He'd be fascinated and probably a little horrified. He wouldn't be impressed by the speed of the algorithms or the size of the bonuses. Instead, he'd start asking questions. He'd ask a hedge fund manager. You'd spend your days trying to beat the market. Why? What is the ultimate purpose of this accumulation? Does it make you a better person? Does it contribute to a just society? He'd ask a financial advisor who promotes complex derivatives. Do you truly understand what you are selling? Do your clients? Or are you simply profiting from complexity and ignorance? He would challenge the very assumptions our financial system is built on, that endless growth is always good, that maximizing shareholder value is the highest corporate goal, and that personal net worth is the primary measure of a successful life. He wouldn't be anti-money, but he'd be fiercely anti-an-examined financial life. This brings us to his most famous maxim. The unexamined life is not worth living. We can adapt this for our purposes today. The unexamined financial life is not worth living. What does this mean? It means taking the time to step back and ask ourselves the tough questions. Why do I want more money? What am I truly seeking? Is it security? Freedom? Status? Respect? Am I spending my money in a way that reflects my deepest values? Or am I just mindlessly consuming? Am I saving for a future that I've actually thought about? Or just because it's what I'm supposed to do? Examining your financial life in a Socratic way isn't about creating a budget, though that can be a part of it. It's about understanding the why behind your financial behaviors. It's about achieving clarity. Are you in debt because of a series of conscious choices, or because you never stop to question your spending habits? Are you investing in companies that align with your ethical beliefs? This process of self-examination is the first step toward true financial well-being, a state that goes far beyond just being rich. So why does this ancient barefoot philosopher still matter so much in our hypermodern digital world? Because the fundamental questions of human existence haven't changed. We are still grappling with desire. We still struggle with the difference between what we want and what is good for us. And we are still trying to figure out how to live a meaningful life. Socrates provides us with a toolkit for thinking, not a rule book for what to do. He teaches us to be skeptical of conventional wisdom, especially when it comes to something as emotionally charged as money. He encourages us to define success for ourselves, rather than accepting society's definition. In an age of information overload, where we're constantly being told how to get rich quick, or what the next hot stock is, Socrates' voice cuts through the noise and asks the only question that really matters. Do you know yourself? By applying his method to our finances, we can move from being passive consumers to conscious architects of our lives. We can build a wealth that isn't just measured in dollars, but in wisdom, integrity, and genuine fulfillment. The journey to an examined financial life is ongoing. It's a dialogue you have with yourself every single day. So next time you're about to make a financial decision, big or small, pause for a moment. Channel your inner Socrates. Ask why. Ask it again. And then ask it one more time. You might be surprised by the answers you find. Thanks so much for watching. If this blend of philosophy and finance resonates with you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How do you practice an examined financial life? See you in the next video.